Welcome to 8 ways to make more money as a notary public. If you are this far in the course, you should be familiar with the different steps. There is 9 steps to get your business off the ground where you're making money. This is step number 8 inside the course. Be found online with Google Business Profile. So like I said, you should be familiar with the 9 steps. If you don't have this, go inside the first module, print this out. This is keeping you on track on how to get to step 9, where you are making money on automation. So we're going to cover step 8 together right now, and let's get started. So the best part of being a notary loan signing agent is that you are a notary, which means there are so many ways to make money outside of just loan signings. Before I dive into those 8 different ways, I want you to hear me crystal clear. The most lucrative way to make money is as a loan signing agent, based on how much you make per appointment and also the opportunity. There are literally millions and millions and millions of homes that close every year, and you can make $100 to $200 per pop. So I don't want the GNW, I don't want the general notary work to skew you from the eye on your prize, which is really understanding that notary loan signings is the most lucrative way to make money. But that doesn't mean I don't want you learning how to make money outside of loan signings. Give me a 1 if what I said just landed. The most lucrative way is loan signings, but you should still diversify your income, because you may not know this, but let this blow your mind. There are over 1 billion notarizations that occur every single year in America. I don't think you understand how big 1 billion is. 1 billion is 1,000 millions. Does that make sense, everybody? Let me put this in perspective. 1 million seconds is about 10 days. 1 billion seconds is 30 years plus. So my point is 1 billion notarizations is a lot of notarizations that you need to capitalize on. And let me really put this in perspective. It is estimated that loan signings make up less than 5% of the 1 billion notarizations that occur in America. Is anyone mind blown right now with the opportunity there is in making money as a notary outside of loan signings? So you're like, Mark, what are the other ways to make money as a notary? Before I dive into that in this training, I want you to understand the purpose of this training. The goal of this training is to educate you and introduce you to the 8 most common lucrative ways to make more money as a notary. This training that you're watching right now is not to teach you in depth how to execute each of these ways. Give me a 1 if that landed. A lot of you just need to be introduced to the different ways so you are educated on the different ways. But you're like, Mark, what if I want to learn about something that you're going to talk about today? Well, I got you, dog. Okay, so every single thing you're going to learn today, in-depth trainings already exist in Complete Notary Mentorship. So as I finish introducing each way to make more money as a notary, I will provide you with the exact link that will take you directly to that in-depth training that I've already recorded for you. How to execute, how to market, and how to make money. You do not need to buy other people's trainings. Give me a 1 if that landed. You don't need to go buy Apostille training, remote online note. I teach all of that for you in your membership. And all of it's located in Complete Notary Mentorship. I'm going to go through the 8 most lucrative ways to make money as a notary outside of loan signings. And after each one of me introducing and educating you, I will give you a QR code on how to access the most current training. So get your notes and papers ready, because I think you're going to be surprised to the world of general notary work and SNW. Let's get the drum roll, please. The number one way, in no particular order, by the way, on what is the most lucrative way. These are all the most popular ways notaries make money. So one of the 8, let's start with number 1, and as remote online notarizations. This is probably the most easy to educate you or introduce you to. So very simply, remote online notarizations is exactly what it sounds like. You're watching this over a video transmission. So instead of meeting face to face, you literally meet someone over a video transmission, and it's a secure platform, a state approved, and you verify their identity or witness their signature, and you complete everything completely digital, basically in your pajamas. Right? It's like you're literally in the comfort of your own home. And this makes you as a notary available literally worldwide sometimes. So just think DocuSign, think a lot of things are going to video conferencing like what you're watching right now. So remote online notarizations is something you need to learn if your state allows it. And now, in the date of this recording is 2025, almost, I think there's only 2 states that don't allow it. And even California just passed an initiative to allow remote online notarizations. So remote online notarization is basically video conferencing. Notarizations are pretty simple to understand. The price structure is very similar to traditional notarizations. $25 to $100 per notarization, depending on state law and platform fees. A lot of popular platform fees would be Proof, Blue Notary, DocVerify. So they're always changing. But again, you can also charge extra outside of the $25 to $100, depending on technology costs, convenient fees, if it is a travel or hybrid offer. Now, I will show you that our students are making money in all these different ways. You can see Sean, Becky, L, all making money as remote online notarizations. If you want an in-depth training to remote online notarization, click the link below to watch the training now. And that is Incomplete Notary Mentorship on what platform to use, how to get it, etc., etc. So there's in-depth training already for you at no extra cost to your membership. So now you know what remote online notarization is. Another way that students are making and notaries are making money is by offering Apostille Services. If you don't know what Apostille Services are, let me explain. So there are many legal documents like birth certificates, marriage licenses, or business agreements that need special authentication. I totally slaughtered that. When used outside of America. So let me help you understand this. So let's say you travel to Spain and you're going to do business in Spain. And in Spain, you said you are married. Well, how does Spain know you're actually married? Well, you go, I got a US marriage certificate. Well, Spain goes, how do I know that's not a fake marriage certificate? Well, in America, you would have to take that marriage certificate to the Secretary of State. They would issue an apostille saying this is a true marriage certificate in America. That apostille certificate signifies to the government of Spain, this is a real marriage certificate. Give me a 1 if that landed. So an apostille is the government saying that this is a true government form. And notaries are hired to execute that apostille. We are not doing the apostille ourselves. We're taking the paperwork, traveling to the Secretary of State on the behalf of the person who needs it authenticated, and we are charging a fee. Give me a 1 if you now understand what an apostille is. We do not say this is true and correct as a notary. The government says this is true and correct. We are just being the service provider for the person who needs it apostilled. Now, so why is a notary hired? Because sometimes these forms need to be notarized before they're apostilled. So the American public is very used to hiring a notary because sometimes the documents need to be notarized before they're apostilled, not all the time. So you as a notary could be hired to execute an apostille service, but not notarize anything. Give me a 1 if that landed. So you could charge for the notarization, but then you charge a flat fee for the processing and delivery of the apostille. And that is anywhere from $75 to $200 per document. You can also charge a courier fee, a rush fee, or travel fee. And there is a lot of money in apostilles, by the way. You can do $400, $500, $600. People will pay in cash. So apostille work is a really good way to add to your overall notary business because most of the time it's last minute. So you're like, oh my gosh, I'm about to travel out of the country. The country I'm traveling to needs this authenticated. This is true and correct. Can I pay you to get this authenticated, or apostilled is another word for authenticated, by your Secretary of State, and then you get paid a ton of money for this apostille? Give me a 1 if you now understand what apostille services are. And like I said, there is a ton of money in it. This person on the bottom left made $875 for an apostille service. But if you're like, Mark, I want in-depth training on how to execute apostilles and how to market my business for apostilles, click the link below to watch the training now. And it will take you to the most recent training that we have on apostilles. And by the way, there's a library, and I do not charge you for this. I don't know how many times you need me to say that. I do not charge you. This is what you get as being a CNM member. All right. Another thing, that you should be adding to your notary business is notarizations for estate planning document services. So some of you are like, what's estate planning? So if you have a family, right? How does all of your property go to your children without it going to probate? Let's say you're on life support at the hospital because you've gotten a bad accident. How does the hospital know that you do or do not want to be pulled off life support? How does the hospital know who to listen to on whose decision that is? So families create estate plans, living wills, trusts, healthcare directives, power of attorneys, and notaries get paid a lot of freaking money for those because you charge per signature notarized, and it could be anywhere from $75 to $250 or even upwards of $500. So you can charge per signature notarized per person in front of you, and you can charge for packaging and travel fees. You can also charge for multiple signers or witnesses and extended appointments for people. It's different than loan signings. You're like, yo, wasn't supposed to be here for 2 hours. I'm going to charge you an extra $100. So as long as you communicate up front what your fee schedule is, there's a lot of money. So again, estate planning is where homeowners, family owners are telling in a written document what they want to happen to their assets, to their healthcare directive when they pass away. Give me a 1 if everybody understands what estate planning services do. And so attorneys are the ones you usually work with who make these estate plans up for clients So you would market your business to attorneys and estate planning attorneys so you can become the notary for estate planning services. There is a ton of money in estate planning for notaries. You need to add estate planning in your notary business. Does everybody now? What I will say is this before I move on to the next one is sometimes notaries get confused between trust signings and estate signings. They're more or less the same thing. A trust, for a very generic understanding, is a glorified will. Okay? It is something you create that you hold your biggest assets under. Most people won't create a trust without an estate plan. Give me a 1 if that landed. But that doesn't mean you cannot do an estate plan only because some people will have a trust without an estate plan. It's just not very often that occurs. So you can do trust signings or estate planning signings, but most often they happen together. Give me a 1 if that landed. And that's why it's so lucrative, because you'll get notarizations on the trust side and the estate planning side. And like I said, there's a ton of money inside this estate planning system because look at Marianne. She made $145 in 15 minutes. This student, Gail, made $200 in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You know, this student made $130 in 15 minutes. There's so much money in estate planning that you got to add it to your repertoire as a notary public. Does everyone now understand what estate planning trust signing is for a notary? And if you're Mark, like Mark, I want more information on training. I want to know what trust docs look like. I want to know what estate planning docs look like. Click the link below to watch the training now. And as long as you're an active subscriber to Complete Notary Mentorship, there is examples, there are trust documents, there are estate planning documents already uploaded to these trainings. And check it out on Complete Notary Mentorship. No extra charge. Can I say that more? Okay. I don't want you guys spending money outside. You guys paid for the best training, period. That's why you're here. All right. So there is no particular order in which I am saying what is more lucrative. I'm just going over the 8 most popular ways to make money outside of loan signing. So another way to make money outside of loan signings is something called field inspections. So what in the world is a field inspections? So let me say it like this. For everybody who lives in the East Coast, you're coming on hurricane season, right? So if there is a massive hurricane that rips through Florida and Georgia, how does the mortgage company know that your house didn't get blown away? They hire a field inspector to go take pictures of your house to make sure it is still standing. Give me a 1 if that landed. Okay, so does everyone know who doesn't live in California that we had huge fires in Los Angeles? And then they burnt down literally thousands of homes. So how do you think the mortgage company based out of North Carolina knew that someone's house was or was not burnt down? They hired a field inspector to go take pictures of their property to send back to them to be like, oh, that house is gone. Or no, that house is still standing. Let me send you pictures around the property. So field inspectors take pictures of assets for usually lenders or anyone putting money against a property. Give me a 1 if that landed. You could do field inspections for people who own boats. So let's say there's a boat insurer and someone's like, I just crashed my boat, and the boat insurer is out of Mississippi and the boat's in Washington. So they would hire a field inspector to go down and look at the boat. Did that land for everybody? So a field inspector is hired to take pictures and confirm details of occupancy or condition. Let's say let's say a bank is about to foreclose on a property. How does the bank know that someone does or does not live in that property? They hired a field inspector. So the field inspector goes over, knocks on the door, You still live here? Cool. They will take pictures, send it back to the bank and be like, hey, someone lives there. Give me a 1 if you now understand what a field inspector is. It is not relative to real estate only. It's relative to any property, business, boat, car, motorcycle, anything that somebody wants authentication of the condition of said asset. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. It is super duper quick work. Super duper quick work. So, general price structure is $15 to $50 per inspection. By the way, how long do you think it took a field inspector to send a picture back to the bank that someone's house was burnt down? 3 seconds? Nope, not there. And they made $50. Do we see how quick money this is? You don't print anything, you usually use an app. Now, the fee job is smaller, but it's way quicker. Let me give you this next thing is 99% of the time there are 0 notarizations. So why are notaries hired? The answer is because field inspection companies know that most notaries are required to have a background check. So they can send somebody to a property or another business knowing to a certain degree that this person's not a felon because they have background checks. Because as a notary, do we all have to have a clear background before we get approved to be a notary? So while there is no things for a notary to notarize, we also have cleared backgrounds. So for people outside the notary industry who wants to work in the field inspection industry, have to pay for a background check we already have. Give me a 1 if that landed. So there's no notarizations per se. Number 2 reason why field inspection companies love to hire notaries is because they know that notaries are versed in dealing with the public, right? You're doing notarizations. And the third reason why they love to hire notaries is because most notaries carry E&O insurance. So does everyone now understand the 3 reasons, even though you don't notarize anything, do we all understand why notaries are picked for field inspections, even though there's no notarizations? Did I explain that good for everybody? Give me a 1 if my explanation landed for everybody. Okay, great. So there's good money in field inspections because it's quick and you can do multiple. So like people, I hate to say this, but in every disaster, there is money to be made, right? And so in the fire disasters of Southern California, field inspectors were killing it. One field inspector would check 40 properties in a day and make $1,500 by taking 50 pictures, right? Hurricane season's coming. Same thing in the hurricane season. Field inspectors will work for boat people, motorcycle people. I mean, everybody. So there's really, really good money in field inspections. These are some of our students, by the way. This student, Gabriel, hit 10 grand, but with a mix of signings and field inspections. Look at Rudine. It took 10 to 15 minutes. Look at Jeffrey on the bottom right here, 40 plus field inspections, which include auto inspection. So again, you can get hired for any type of field inspection. It is not just real property. So you need to add field inspections to your repertoire. I mean, look at this student, $660 in 1 day just on field inspections. If you guys are like, Mark, I want to learn more about field inspection, I put the link down below so you can access the training now. All right. So again, these are in no particular order on what's better or best. These are just the 8 ways you should be making money outside of your loan signing business. The 5th way I'm going to share is wedding officiant. So what some of you guys don't know who didn't have gunshot weddings is most wedding certificates are required to be notarized. So a lot of people who have gunshot at the county weddings will hire a notary because they can hire a notary who also does weddings. Did that land for everybody? So why would you hire an ordained minister off the internet and then also hire a notary when you can just hire a notary who does weddings? Did that land for everybody? So you simply do what you, if you're married, you know the drill. You give a spiel. Now, obviously, most wedding officials that are hired as notaries don't do the big elaborate weddings. It's more of the people who go down to the county, do in the backyard. This is the opportunity. The reason it's great because there's actually a lot of money in it. You can make $100 to $500 for literally a 15-minute wedding because all you do is just the officiating. But we have a lot of community members who go, Mark, sometimes what I do is I refer them a photographer, I refer them a caterer, and then they make money off the referrals. So they'll be found to do a wedding, and then the wedding official notary be like, do you have a photographer? No, I don't. Boom, they have a photographer. They get a cut. Oh, do you have a caterer? No, I don't. Boom, I got a caterer. There you go. So you can get paid $100 to $500 just for the wedding officiating, but then also make money with the add-ons. Give me one up that landed. We have some students making $2,000 on a Saturday doing wedding officiants. It's incredible. So here's one of our students, Nick, who did a wedding on a Saturday, and you can see the small wedding that he did. So and then here's another one of our students who also did a wedding. Here are more. So by the way, these are not niche. All of our community does what I'm teaching you today. And there's really good money in doing wedding officials. If you're like, Mark, I want to learn more on how to get weddings and add that to my stream of income, I got you, man. So if you are curious about diving deeper into being a wedding official, look at the most current replay on wedding trainings and complete notary mentorship. Give me a 1 if you are enjoying today's training. Am I enlightening you to new opportunities that you could be adding to your loan signing agent business? Love it. Okay. All right. Number 6. Again, these are no particular order. Okay. These are just the 8 most common ways to make money outside of loan signings. So the 6th thing I believe that you should be adding to your notary business is what they call permit running. So what are permit running? Has anyone here ever built a renovation or addition to their house? All that work has to be permitted. And so contractors will hire notaries to essentially be couriers for them. So they're not paying someone in their office to run down back and forth from the county to submit permits. So why would a contractor hire a permit runner when they have someone in their office to go run down the permits for them? For the exact same reason a bank doesn't send out a notary at nighttime as a loan signing agent. If the bank had a notary signing agent employed and the notary got in a car accident on the way to that signing, the bank would be on the hook. Does everyone understand that? You should, because you're a notary signing agent. So contractors are the same thing. Sure, they can send out their $12 hour an employee in the construction office to go run the permit, but if that $12 hour an employee gets hit on the way to doing the permit, guess who's responsible for workers' comp? The contractor. Give me 1 if that landed, everybody. So now 99% of the time, you do not need to have anything notarized. But because they know notaries are mobile by trade, that is why they hire mobile notary signing agents. And the price point is great, $50 to $200 for running something across town. If it's last minute, you can charge more. You can charge hourly. You can charge a flat rate. You can charge mileage if you got to run to a property that is, 45 minutes away from your county recorder. So permit running is a great way to go market a service to contractors that are all over where you live. So here's one of our students who did 40 loan closings, 29 permits ran, and 15 field inspections. So if you're wondering how some of these notaries are building their loan signing business and not panicking that it's not happening quick enough, is they're adding ancillary services around their loan signing business. And this is why I'm teaching it to you today. We have another student who did a permit running because it's an easy way to add to your notary streams of revenue. If you are like Mark, I would love more teaching on permit running. Well, I got you, boo. Click the link below. It will lead you to the most current training that has already been done to add permit running to your business. Does everybody understand what permit running is? Give me a 1 in the comments so I know I did my job and I can move on. Does everybody understand that why permit runners don't need to notarize anything, but why we are hired in lieu of sending somebody out in their office? Give me a 1. All right. Am I doing good? All right. There I go. I just need your permission to move on. All right. The 7th thing I believe you should be doing to add revenue to your notary business is fingerprinting services. What is that? So many employers, licensing boards, agencies require fingerprints for background checks. So let's say you're going to go be a UPS driver, or you're going to go actually start working for a construction company. They're going to send out the new construction worker to go figure out how to get their fingerprints done. And so a notary who understands how to live scan, have the live scan equipment and provide digital prints could easily add on fingerprinting to their own business. So does everyone here understand what I just said? Sometimes when you're trying to go get these independent contractor jobs, the people hiring you will require background checks. And then these people were getting these 1099 independent contractor jobs. It's their responsibility to go get background checks. In order to get a background check, they need to get fingerprints to submit to the background check company. Give me a 1 if that landed. So all these independent contractors are searching day and night for somebody who knows how to do live scan so they can send those live scans from the live scanner to the background check company, get a clear background check so they can go get hired for the job they want. And you can charge as a fingerprint service provider 25 to 50 bucks. By the way, how long does it take to do this? I'm rolling my fingers, by the way. And you get paid 25 for 50 bucks per card. And then they take that card and they go to the background check company afterwards. Or you can charge 50 bucks to $100 per live scan. How long does it take to do this? This is my live scan reader. So you can get paid 50 to 100 bucks in 5 minutes. It is an easy add-on. You can charge more for mobile appointments. You can charge more for groups. You can charge more for travel fees. It is such a good business. So one of our students launched a live scan business and made over $2,000 in a week. You can see the student on the left-hand side didn't do live scan, but a traditional paper fingerprint. So you can do either or. Again, why are notaries hired even though nothing needs to be notarized? And the answer is because we have background checks. And in order to be a live scan and fingerprint person, you got to have a background check, which you already have cleared. So that is why it's an easy add-on to your notary business. And you're like, Mark, I want to know how much live scans are. I want to know how to get live scan business. Click the link below to watch the training now. We already have trainings on this. Bookmark this to watch at a later date. Are we all excited about learning all these different ways to make money as a notary? Give me like the biggest one in the comments. If you're like, Mark, this has opened my eyes to so many different ways that I can be making money as a notary, and I got you. All right, so I'm going to end number 8. This is by far the most lucrative way to make money as a notary based on opportunity size. And that is through general notary work. So, what is general notary work? General notary work is any type of document that needs to be notarized, like an SAT form, adoption form, contractor lien, deed in lieu of foreclosures, parental travel permission forms, contractor liens, retirement, power of attorneys, inheritance docs, jail, prison visit permissions, divorce paperwork, travel permission slips, minor tattoos, school address verification forms. One of our students said she went to the local ear piercing place in the mall. And if someone is under 18 and wants an ear pierce, there needs to be a notarized form saying you can get your ear pierced. And now she does like 45 a week an ear piercing permission for people who are under 18. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know that was a thing. If you want to get a tattoo under the age of 18, you also need something notarized. How many people here have a tattoo parlor right by their house? Yeah, they need a notary on speed dial for the people who are under 18. General notary work is the biggest way to make money. And what is general notary work? It is nothing that is specific. It is random forms that need to be notarized. Give me a 1 if that landed. So general notary work are random forms that need to be notarized. Remember when I told you there are 1 billion notarizations? Remember that? There is hundreds of millions of random forms that need to be notarized. Please tell me the light bulb went off. Hundreds of millions. I didn't say 1,000. I tell you guys, oh my God, 5 million homes in America close a year. I'm now talking hundreds of millions of random forms need to be notarized in America. It is really the best side business for notaries, period. So, how do you make money with general notary work? So, we all have state laws on what we can charge per signature. Give me a 1. I hope to gosh you know that at the minimum. Like there's only X amount of money you can charge before you can no longer charge that. So, the way you make money is not by signature notarized. Pay attention. This should make your light bulb go off. You do not make the money in GNW per signature notarized because we are capped at that. You make money for the travel fees and the service fees. Did that land everybody? So the conversation is to the tattoo parlor, I can only charge $7 per signature notarized, but in order for me to travel from my house to your house, that is $100. Did that land everybody? And then even if your state limits travel fees, which very few do, you then can charge service fees. Well, for me to come out on a Saturday, that's an extra $50. Did that land for everybody? Well, you know what? I don't typically work Thursdays, and my state only allows me to charge $40 for a travel fee. So I'm going to charge you $40 for a travel fee. I'm going to charge you $2.50 and $2.50 per signature notarized. But you know what? It's a Tuesday, and I don't work on Tuesdays. So I'm going to charge you $50 for a Tuesday notarization fee. Is everybody picking up what I'm putting down? And by the way, your customer can deny that. And so when you're talking to the ear piercing place and they're like, oh, I charge $50 for a travel fee, then they go, oh, well, I don't take that. Cool. You want to take 25? So you can negotiate the service add-ons and the travel fee add-ons. Give me a 1 if the light bulb went off. So G&W could be as lucrative as loan signings if you price it correctly and still follow under state statutes. And this is why some notaries go, I don't even like loan signings, Mark. I just figured out how to get all the business for general notary work. So I just live in that lane because I charge as much for my travel fees as notaries who do loan signings do. Tell me the light bulb went off, pretty please. You don't got to print docs. They have them for you. You get paid on the spot, usually cash. I mean, what else do you want? So the money in general notary work is in the negotiated travel and additional service fees. Does that make sense? Because a lot of you guys are like, well, Mark, my state only allows me to charge $2. Cool. I didn't to charge that. Charge them $100 for traveling at 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Does that make sense, everybody? This is why we all need to be doing general notary work. The notary's like, oh, Mark, I don't do general notary work. I'm like, why? I'm like, well, my state only allows me to charge $2.50 per signature notarized. I'm like, cool. Do they cap your travel fees? No. Then charge $100. It's up to the client to decline that. Does that make sense, everybody? Like the client can be like, Marla, that's too much. Cool. Then drop it to 50. You know what I'm saying, everybody? So you got to learn how to get general notary work because this is where the money is at to supplement your loan signing business. I mean, just to put that in perspective, we have Kim. Read this with me. And by the way, this was posted in August. I made $10,000. Everybody see this red line? I made $10,000 and 85% was G&W. Now you know that she made most of that money on travel and service fees, not the notarization fee. Tell me we got excited, please. Because I can give you this information, but I need you to do something with it, man. So you're like, Mark, I'm still a little confused on G&W. I got you. There's a whole training on general notary work inside Complete Notary Mentorship. Click the link below to watch the training now. That is included in your subscription and membership to Complete Notary Membership and Loan Signing System. Let me ask you a question real quick. What if you made an extra $200 a month off apostilles, an extra $200 a month with permit running, an extra $200 a month being a wedding official, an extra $200 a month with field inspections, an extra $200 a month with GNW? Like, who would like an extra $1,000 next month? Anybody? And learning how to add these streams of income can change everything. That was my dramatic pause on purpose. I wanted that to sink. Does everybody understand what I just taught you here? And what you have a library of information to break down included. So you guys should be asking me, well, Mark, I get it. I love it. Everything you said, I'm on the same page. But how do notaries get field inspections? How do notaries get general notary work jobs to make? How do people get business for wedding officiating? How do people get found for permit running? How do people get found for online notarization? Are we all wondering that? Give me a 1 if I'm answering a ginormous question. All right, 'cause I'm going to answer it. So pay attention. This might be the most important part of today's training. The number one way to get these notary opportunities to make more money for your family, it is called Google Business Profile. If you do not have a Google Business Profile, pay attention. So what is a Google Business Profile? So a Google Business Pro, I want you to think of it as a digital storefront. Google is trying to index every single store, physical or not physical, in the world. So they are creating a digital storefront. And on your notary digital storefront or your notary Google business profile, you list what services you offer. Oh, I don't know, like general notary work, apostille, estate plan notarizations. You put on your Google business profile your location, your business hours, your fees. Here's what everyone needs to hear me crystal clear. Websites are old school. Websites are so 2022. Your Google business profile acts as your new website. Give me a 1 if that landed. On your Google business profile, you can have a link to your website, but Google wants you to create a Google business profile. So here are the 3 things I want you to understand about a Google business profile. Okay, everybody pay attention. Stop what you're doing and listen. If you're multitasking, stop. Focus. If you're at home cooking dinner and trying to watch this video, tell everybody it's gonna be a little bit late. Okay, so pay attention. There's 3 things you need to understand. On Google specifically, there are millions of searches for notary near me. Let me prove it. Last month alone on Google, there was 800,000 searches for notary near me. People who have those one-off notary forms. By the way, what should blow your mind is, do we all realize that we can go to a UPS store to get something notarized? Do we all realize that? Do you think all of America knows that? So if all of America knows you can go to a postal annex, a UPS store, but there was still 800,000 humans typing in notary near me, what you should see is dollar signs, because they don't want to go to a UPS store. They want someone to go to them. Please tell me that landed. Because if everyone knows you go to UPS store, FedEx store to get a free notarization for pay, and you don't need to pay travel fees. So they would Google UPS stores. They would Google postal annex, right? They wouldn't Google notary near me. Tell me that landed for everybody. So what I hope you're seeing is money. All right. So 800,000 searches. That is why you need a Google business profile. Here's the biggest thing I need you to learn is Google is at war with Yelp for local searches. So Google hates the fact that any of us open up Yelp first for local search. Did that land? How many people here go to Yelp if they need a handyman? How many people here go to Yelp if they need a massage therapist or a car detailer? Google is like, that is not, we need that traffic. Does that make sense, everybody? So the reason they created Google business profiles was to create a way for local businesses to be indexed. Tell me that landed. So because Google is at war with Yelp, they will literally place Google business profiles above websites. Can you see the screen here? So for all of you who just have websites, you're like, oh man, my website isn't getting any traffic because, bro, it's being served below Google business profile results. Did that land for everybody? So that is why websites is so 2022, because websites actually get posted after Google business profiles. So we as a local business get to take advantage of this war with Yelp. Is that landing? Because they're trying to basically make Yelp go out of business. So they're like, we're going to reward the local businesses who create a profile with us. Give me a 1 if the light bulb went off. So here is the third thing I want you to know about Google Business Profile for those who do not have one yet. Drum roll, please. Brrr, that's my drum roll. Drum roll, please. It is free. So Mark, how much does Google Business Profile cost? Nothing. I actually, again, I believe they'll start charging at some point, but because there's this war for local searches amongst search engines, right now it is free. You do not need to be an SEO expert anymore. Remember those days, everybody? What you now need to become is a Google Business Profile expert. But let's recap something real quick. You ready? Can we do a little recap? We're almost done. So let's do a recap together. Millions of people need notarizations. You can show up at the top of the search results for free. Let me say that one more time. Okay. Millions of Americans search for notaries every day, even though the UPS store has a notary in it. Millions of Americans search for notary near me every day, every month. And you can show up for free in your local search results by having a Google Business Profile that is free. Is everybody picking up what I'm putting down? So now you know how to add extra income to your loan signing agent business by capitalizing on signing work outside of loan signings. So now you just need to learn how to correctly fill out a Google Business Profile to maximize coming up on your search results, because obviously there's certain things that Google Business Profile indexes. And don't worry, I got you, dog. Okay, I got you. There is a training, yes, on how to build out a Google Business Profile. So click the link below so you can get training on how to fill out a Google Business Profile so you come up anytime someone searches notary near me where you live. Click the link below now.